My name is Cassandra Gerard, and my report is on Tim Scott, the Republican Senator for South Carolina. The Palmetto State, South Carolina was admitted into the Union as the eighth state in 1788. Its history in becoming a state has one that has seen discourse. It was the first state to secede from the Union in 1861 and also to officially separate from North Carolina in 1729. South Carolina's history is deeply rooted in slavery. It stretches back to the 16th century when Africans arrived as slaves at Carolina Colony, now known as Charleston. About one-third of the nation's slaves came through Charleston, South Carolina, and were quarantined on Sullivan's Island. As a South Carolinian, Senator Tim Scott is the first African American to be appointed as senator of his state. South Carolina is a state with a diverse population. Per the 2000 census, the population of South Carolina is about 4 million. The 2010 census shows that the state is made up of 62% whites, 5.1% Hispanic and Latinos, 27.9% blacks. South Carolina has historically been an agricultural state with such crops as tobacco, cotton, and soybeans. In recent years, the state has become more diverse in its industries. Charleston makes asbestos, wool pulp, steel products, chemicals, machinery, and apparel. Tim Scott was born and grew up in North Charleston, South Carolina. As a child of a single-parent home, Scott faced many adversities growing up. Things in Scott's life took a major turnaround in high school. Watching his mother struggle to maintain the household and keep income flowing, Scott found it difficult to keep his focus in school. After almost dropping out of high school as a freshman, he was fortunate enough to meet his mentor, a Chick-fil-A operator, John Moniz, who helped teach him conservative values. His mentor would help foster the importance of hard work and education. Scott would go on to graduate high school and went on to earn a partial football scholarship to Presbyterian College. Scott received a bachelor's degree in political science from Charleston Southern University. Scott maintained his livelihood in Charleston by building his business from the ground up. As the owner of Tim Scott Allstate, he was named the South Carolina Agency Owner of the Year. Scott's political career started close to home. He first served on the Charleston County Council from 1995 until 2008 and acted as the government's body's chairman for the final 2 years. He then served in South Carolina's House of Representatives for one term before running for the U.S. Congress after Republican Henry E. Brown Jr. decided to retire. Tim Scott is making history several times over. He will be the first Southern black senator from the GOP since Reconstruction, the first black Republican since Edward Brooke of Massachusetts losing in 1978, and the only currently serving black senator. Tim Scott was appointed in 2013 by Governor Nikki Haley as a replacement for Jim DeMint in the Senate. With his strong conservative views, Tim Scott has earned the support of the Tea Party voters as well as the political support of party members Governor Sarah Palin and Senator Jim DeMint during the primaries. Scott's appeal is apparent in those that have contributed to his success in the political arena. According to MapLight.org, Scott's contributions for the last 6 years has totaled roughly $2,318,000 in contribution funds. The real estate community has donated $198,000, with the insurance sector coming as a close second with $183,000 in contributions. He has a wide range of organizations backing him as well, with Public leading the list of contributors with $8,900. Tim Scott has always stood for the working class South Carolinian. With his upbringing in a single-parent home, he watched his mother labor tiredly as a nursing assistant, working long shifts to support him and his siblings. He got his first job changing oil at a gas station when he was 13. These two events helped to shape his views on enhancing life for the working class. His work in Congress and now in Senate Senate reflect this view. On April 20th, 2011, the NLRB filed a complaint against Boeing Company. The aerospace company deliberately punished its Washington state-based union workforce by building a new $1 billion manufacturing plant in South Carolina, a right-to-work state. The new plant is intended to build the company's new flagship aircraft, the Dreamliner 787. Scott spoke against the NLRB for suing Boeing for opening the assembly line in North Charleston. This lawsuit sent in motion the Protecting Jobs from Governmental Interference Act. The act passed by the House. Tim was an original co-sponsor of the Cut, Cap, and Balance Act, which would do just as it says. Cut spending, cap our spending moving forward based on how much we bring in. As a senator, Tim Scott joined his colleagues in introducing a balanced budget amendment to the U.S. Constitution. In general, Tim Scott is a consistent voice for significant cuts in federal spending and a staunch opponent of measures he believes do not go far enough. In conclusion, Tim Scott has led an impressive political career. He is set to run for a full-term Senate seat in 2014. His upbringing and his home state have helped to shape his views. These views are centered around the working class, individual, and controlling government spending. Being African American, Scott will have an incomparable ability to respond to and discount the left persistent attempts to paint those who hold his belief and political ideology as anti-black.